I am so honoured to be sitting here with the new British ambassador for Spain. His name is Hugh Elliott, and we're in Manilva, yes, completely out of my element. But I've come to Manilva to meet Hugh and have a little talk about Brexit, which is the aim of the evening. I suppose to address you, the people, and let them know what's going on. Do we know what's going on? Hi.
Hi, good evening, Nicole. It's very nice to be here, and it's lovely to be talking to you this evening, this afternoon, this evening.
Yeah,
This evening
the
because the
program will
weather's
be coming on, and we
yeah.
come back, so all times are good.
Yeah. Well, no. So we're here this evening. I'm here to my first sort of official trip down to the Costa del Sol. It's some 30 plus years since I was last down here working as a tour guide in another life, but it's really nice to be back. And today, what this is about, as you can see, we're setting up, as you say, for an event where we're going to explain where we are with Brexit, because as we know, we've got an awful lot of your viewers, a lot of citizens here who have got lots of questions about what's happening. We're in an election period right now, so there's even more uncertainty in some respects, and so it's really important for me to come down and meet and talk to people, explain what we can about what's going on. There are some limits about what we can say during an election period, because we're in what we call purdah. That's when we have to be quite careful that we don't interfere with the political debate, but it's important in that time to keep information flowing and to let people know what's happening. So I assume there'll be quite a lot of people coming here this
A lot of
evening.
questions.
And lots of questions, but that's fine. That's our job to be answering that.
Well, it's really nice. I want to say from our part that we're so grateful to the embassy. I mean, Charmaine Arbois is always coming on the programme. We've just had an event on the 12th of this month in Marbella regarding this. But I know there's not much we can talk about, so I thought that I would take advantage to talk about you. I just met your lovely wife, Tony, who is Spanish, and you met when you were here in university in Spain.
Yes, that's right. Well, I was teaching English, and we met both teaching English for the University of Salamanca on their cursos de verano, summer courses, and that was a few years ago now.
Life in the UK, as opposed to life in Spain, is very, very different. When you first moved over to Spain, what were the things that most caught your attention that, like, this is really cool?
I think it became normal to go to bed at about 4:30 in the morning. I think that's probably the thing that most struck me. And I had a schedule at that stage when I actually started work at midday and finished at 10 o'clock in the evening. That was pretty unusual, but then I rather got to like that after a while.
Nice.
But also it's the friendliness, and it's such a welcoming society. And it's so nice. I found it incredibly comfortable to be here in Spain.
And do you like the food and everything? Is that because it's very different, like having fish with the head on and like cutting off the knife and fork for you, shrimp tails and things.
Oh, the food's wonderful. I think it's just overall the welcome is so. Spain is such a warm country. Even the cold parts of Spain are warm. And even so, here this evening, it's pretty cool here this morning.
And even though it's raining, it's still not as bad when it rains back home.
No, it's a really warm culture, warm society. And so, I mean, our professional lives have taken us all over the world in one way or another. So we're delighted to be back here in Spain. It's a fantastic job to come here as British ambassador. It's a big job to do. Lots of work, but it's a job that I'm really, really pleased to be doing.
I mean, it's a very unique time to be taking office in Brexit. I mean, it's kind of like, don't want to touch it with a barge pole, and yet at the same time it needs a capable hand to carry it through.
I first came to Spain on a bicycle, as it happens, before Spain had joined the European Union. So I'm not saying no. I don't want to pretend that it's not a big change. It is a big change, and so it will affect people. It's really important that we help people understand what they need to do. But relationships between peoples and cultures happen in all sorts of different legal frameworks. As I say, I've known the relationship between Spain and the UK for 35 plus years, and I'm very confident that we will continue to have a thriving relationship. For me, it's a real pleasure to be part of making that relationship, helping make that relationship thrive afterwards.
We're very lucky that we are very much welcomed here, and I think it's very important that we remember that it's Britain that's decided to leave and not blame the Spanish for processes and things that we need to do in face of this, to work together towards the changeover.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard today that there are over 75,000 Brits in Andalusia alone. We've got somewhere around 350,000 in Spain as a whole. That's testament to how welcoming society this is, how many of us have actually made Spain our home in one way or another. And the Spanish government's actually been pretty helpful. and we have to say thank you to that for trying to make things as easy as they possibly can for us in the context of those changes. The thing is that we do need to carry on explaining that, and look forward to doing that this evening.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if there's going to be any differences between the questions, say, from Madrid, as opposed to the coastal areas that seem to have, because you've got more working people with customs clearance and business matters, perhaps in the city, and with pensions and healthcare.
Well, that's
on
it.
the
I mean,
coast.
I've already been talking, because today I've been meeting not just some British businesses here, but I've been meeting a whole range of British voluntary groups actually. We had a little event in Mykonos before coming down here. We do all sorts of fantastic work for not just, but particularly for the British communities around on the coast. Put in a huge amount of their time and effort on a voluntary basis to help people. And one of the big things is exactly that. It's clearly healthcare is a big question. And that's to do with part of the demographic we've got here, which is an older demographic than in Spain. In Spain than in Madrid.
You're in your first official visit to Andalusia. Are you going to be staying here for many days? You can have a chance to just do a few tours, or is it really full on now?
That would be lovely. I have actually been down to Seville before. It was my first visit down to the Costa del Sol. And I'm here for today and tomorrow, but then I'm on the road. I've got quite a lot of other places to get to, but I will be back here.
Is that a threat or a promise? As my dad would say, is that a threat or a promise?
Well, you'll have to tell me after this evening.
Okay. Thank you so much. A pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you.
Welcome back to España.
Muchas
And
gracias.
pleasure to meet Tonya. I hope you're both very happy and you enjoy your time here.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you.
Gracias.
And your
Muchas gracias.
ambassador. Welcome back to Charmaine Arbois, our British consul, who is being so busy with all our different events. Charmaine, thank you for coming back on the programme. I had you on last week. You're moving around so much, you must be exhausted. This is the first official visit of our new British ambassador to Andalusia. How's he finding it? How's it all going?
Well, this is day one. He's here for 2 days. It's a really good opportunity for him to get to see not just what we do in the consulate, but also to get out into the community and meet with the British community. So we've visited a British company that's relocated to the Costa del Sol. We've also had a really good lunch with a few members of the British community and partners that we work with. And it's obviously the Costa del Sol is very different from anywhere else in Spain, and being the ambassador who is based in Madrid, he's not necessarily aware of the fact that we have so many voluntary groups that are doing absolutely amazing work. So it's been very good for him to be exposed to some of that. And of course now this evening we're doing this Brexit outreach, so he'll be speaking to Brits that live in this area about what their Brexit concerns are.
It's nice to see that he's so impressed at the commitment of the foreigners here to each other, to be so helpful, because there really are some great groups, very informative.
Yeah, and I mean, it's, like sometimes you sort of, when people sort of say, oh, there's a voluntary sector, you sort of think, oh, there's a couple of groups. But as he worked his way around and spoke to some of the age charities, spoke to Cudeca, met with Alimbre, lots and lots of different voluntary organisations, and then just some of the associations as well, because some of the British associations inland, they have like 100, 200 members. So it is really impressive to just see that we tend to see the world from the perspective of what we do from the consulate to help people, but it's really good to see that there's a community of British people out there that are also helping British people, and it's not always through us, so it's really helpful.
Well, you're all doing a great job, and we're all ever so grateful. Charmaine, thank you so much. I hope the afternoon is as successful as is intended.
Thank you.
Thank you. Smile, big wave. I'm with Valentina and Carlos of Martinez Echevarri Law Firm, and I see, Valentina, you've just opened a new office right down the road from where we are now in Villa Matilde.
Yes, then really nice to see you again, Nicole.
It's been too long.
It's been too long, I know, and I used to visit you a lot in your show when I was in Marbella. Well, now we have an office in Manova. We've just opened, almost a year ago. It's my hometown, as you know. I'm very, very dedicated to the foreign residents here in Manova, and we have a new office to attend.
How are the foreign residents taking the changes that are about to come?
Well, I think like everybody, we are all a bit worried, but thank God then there's initiatives like this, where the town hall is also very close to the foreigners and informing them a lot about the new changes. And then of course media, people involved in the community such as yourself, who always put the word out there about the new changes, and we try to do the same. And I think it's just an idea about that nobody knows what to do at the moment. So hopefully with events like this they will know.
A little bit of reassurance always comes in handy.
Yes.
Well, Valentina, Carlos, it's lovely to see you again. I'm looking forward to the event. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And the room is slowly filling up. An absolute privilege to be meeting the man in the most gorgeous suit I've seen in a long time. Dean, it's lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too.
As I understand it, apart from the organiser of today's event, you were the first foreign councillor for Manilva, representing us foreigners living here.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was back in 2015. Unfortunately, it didn't follow through in the last elections, and I missed out by 12 votes.
It's amazing how few people can make a big difference. But as I understand it, you're still very much involved in the running of the foreigners and informing the foreigners from your new position in the Mancomunidad.
I do my best, but obviously, from a political perspective, I can't and shouldn't really be working in that sort of area. I do because it's something that I love doing. You've got to represent the Costa del Sol, especially if you're a foreigner.
Before I leave, delighted to catch Gary from the resident newspaper, which is the Manilva local paper, right, Gary?
It is indeed. Yes.
For how many years?
Good grief, must be 13 years now.
Oh,
13 years.
MG.
I know. It seems like longer, but yeah, 2006. That's right. 2006.
What kind of paper is it?
It's. I always say to people, I'm not a journalist, so it's an informative newspaper. The idea is to give everybody the same, because it's in English and Spanish. So
Oh, that's nice.
The idea is to give everybody the same information, which hopefully then fosters a sense of community, because everybody knows the same stuff. It's generally stuff that's going on locally. A lot of the town hall press releases I'll put into the newspaper, the things that are of interest, you know.
So really a portal between the town hall
It is.
and the people.
And the people. I mean, it was originally in English only, and we started getting Spanish people coming into the office saying, "Oh, I wish we had a newspaper like this, one that wasn't political, one that, you know, just dealt with the facts." So yeah, it's been bilingual for 11 years now.
Congratulations, enhorabuenísima. Amazing that you've taken that step to do it in both languages.
Yeah.
I think that's a really nice touch.
It does also make it easier to distribute. You don't get too much resistance. You know, you take it into a restaurant or a bar and people, "Oh no, I don't want a Giri newspaper," and then you say, no, it's in Español también, and there's, "Oh, okay," you know.
And that's how it's done. We are living in a foreign country, and I think that's exactly how it should be done. So, muchísimas gracias. I'll do as I'm preaching. Muchas gracias. And it's really nice that you're doing, still continuing, because it's not
It's a
easy.
labour of love.
It's a labour of love, and we're very grateful. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Nicole.
CAISA, who are main sponsors along with the Ayuntamiento de Manilva today. I'm going to move this on passport validity and other possible subjects that might be of interest to you. We've sort of run out, so if you haven't got a pen, there'll be one understanding of where our feelings or thoughts are at. Anyway, Carlos Jordan, would you like to